natural and exotic stone, carefully selected and imported from Italy and Brazil. We also stock the newest collection from Caesar stone and silestone. Don't forget our wide variety of gorgeous porcelain wood plank tiles, including our exclusive Bermuda cedar tile, as well as natural travertines suitable for outdoors and indoors. Bathroom and pool tiles are in stock too. Stop by our showroom at 17 Serpentine Road, Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturday from 9 a.m. to 1.
You can count on us.
Avocados, hot price, 2 for $3. Fresh Purdue Oven Suffer Roaster, $1.99 per pound. Kreider 18-pack large white eggs, hot price for $2.95. Hunt's Tomato Ketchup, 35-ounce squeeze bottle for $2.99. Charmin Essential Strong Toilet Tissue, 1 roll, hot price $1.19. All stores open Monday through Saturday until 10 p.m. and Sunday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. for your shopping convenience.
You can count on us.
You're watching Bermuda Tonight. It's Wednesday, February 27, 2019. I'm Diane Brewer, and thank you for joining us. Topping our news, a former government road safety official, David Sinclair Miners, has been jailed for 5 years for sexually exploiting a 14-year-old boy. Jasmine Patterson was in the courtroom and brings us the latest.
A wolf in sheep's clothing is how the Crown characterized Miners. The 43-year-old father of 3 was sentenced to 5 years imprisonment today on his own admission to 6 counts of showing offensive material to a 14-year-old boy and sexually exploiting the boy while being in a position of trust. The incident happened last July at a local school where Miners, owner of a production company that supports high school and small performances, was hosting rehearsals. The victim was known to Miners and had a good relationship with him, having received modeling, acting, and singing advice. Miners had the victim alone in the school cafeteria when he began sharing about his sexuality with the boy, confessing to him that he identifies as bisexual. He then showed the boy the gay dating app Grindr and offered to show the boy his genitalia. The Crown says Miners asked to see the boy's privates, and after initially refusing, the boy was encouraged to do it. Miners then proceeded to put his mouth on the boy. The next day, the defendant sent a series of messages to talk about the encounter. However, the boy said he felt awkward and uncomfortable. Miners sent the boy a 2-minute video, explicit in nature. The victim then stopped attending the talent company training sessions and made up excuses not to go. The victim confided in a friend, and word got to his mother, who reported the crime in July 2018. It was the Crown's submission that Miners coerced and pressured the victim into a sexual act, stating the victim could not consent legally by reason of age. The Crown deemed Miners' actions as deplorable, calling him unremorseful and unrepentant, and asked for a 4 to 7 year prison sentence to be handed down. A psychiatric report revealed that Miners was absurd in his thinking, that he saw his victim as a peer. The court heard Miners has a personality of a high-functioning narcissist and placed blame on the minor. A victim impact statement written by the boy's mother was not allowed to be read out in court following legal arguments after it was determined the boy himself was capable of providing one to the court. Defense lawyer Elizabeth Christopher argued that her client has shown remorse by entering a guilty plea and going to see a psychiatrist to deal with his wrongful behavior. She further argued that the case should not have been dealt with in the Supreme Court, as the case did not involve penetration. A court-ordered report stated Miners was at low risk of reoffending and would not benefit from sex offenders' rehabilitation as he does not suffer from pedophilia. She called for 2 to 3 years imprisonment. Miners, supported by a number of family and friends, apologized to the community, his family, children, and the individual for his actions, adding that he was sorry for the hurt and pain he caused. Justice Carlisle Greaves admonished the defendant in a lengthy speech before sentencing and urged would-be offenders like him to stay away from children. Mr. Greaves berated Miners for betraying the children and families he worked for, stating, quote, "You're pulling down the very institutions that you serve," telling him, "I try not to give myself too much time to think because it gets worse for you." A mitigating factor was that by submitting an early guilty plea, he saved the boy from enduring a trial where he would have been required to give evidence. The main aggravating factor, the judge stated, was that Miners continued to pursue him after the incident, grooming him through text messages. Miners was sentenced to 18 months and 21 months in respect of the first 2 counts, showing offensive material, namely a photograph and video, and 5 years for sexually exploiting the boy, all to run concurrently. Jasmine Patterson reporting for Bermuda Broadcasting News.
Thanks, Jasmine. Well, reaction to the sentencing of David Miners has been swift, with statements being put out tonight by the Minister for Tourism and Transport and the Bermuda Police Service. Tarai Trott has that angle.
The Tourism and Transport Minister, Zane De Silva, pulling no punches in his statement sent out in reaction to the sentencing of David Miners. Mr. De Silva acknowledges that Miners committed the offenses in his personal capacity. Mr. De Silva writes, "I strongly condemn the actions of Mr. Miners. I understand that the offenses did not occur while Mr. Miners was carrying out his road safety officer duties. Notwithstanding this, it is disturbing to know he worked in a position of trust with our children. We should all expect to live and work in a safe environment where our children are free from harm. To that end, any actions against our children will not be tolerated. Those suspected of committing offenses against our children will be brought before the courts and, if found guilty, will be sentenced accordingly," end quote. The minister goes on to offer his deepest sympathies to the victim and his family. Meantime, the Bermuda Police Service also weighing in on the prison sentence. Chief Inspector Arthur Glassford, in a statement on behalf of the service, says the sentencing of David Miners represents a win for victims of sexual assault everywhere. He says the impact of these actions on vulnerable people in our community can only be regarded as callous and reprehensible. People who abuse their position of trust to prey on vulnerable members of our society should take note that the police and criminal justice system are here to help, and we will work to obtain justice, as has been done in this case. While he says police won't comment on the specifics of this case, Chief Inspector Glassford adds, "In a small community, it can be challenging for victims to feel supported enough that they will come forward and report a sexual assault to the police, but the BPS has demonstrated that members of our community can speak up, will be listened to, and we will get justice for you," end quote. While police would not comment on the specifics of the case, the service takes comfort in recognizing that the criminal justice system has worked for someone who was abused by someone in a position of significant trust, and the court's sentence reflects how dimly these actions are viewed. Police add, "We hope this will spur other persons who may have fallen prey to similar conduct to come forward and speak up against their abusers. We are here, and the Bermuda Police Service is ready to listen."
Thanks, Tarai. Coming up, police matters came in response to UK and the latest from AccuWeather headquarters. Stay with us.
At Argus, our interest is you. Each of you. Around here, we know that when two people seem the same, they can have very different insurance needs. For their health, home, work, and future. Which is why we take the time to get to know you as an individual, so we can provide insurance coverage that fits your life. Because after all, our interest is you.
Riding a motorcycle is, it's a feeling that nobody ever can imagine. You never lose that, and you always want that feeling again. When you get to an intersection is where the most times you're going to have an accident. The guy did not signal. I presumed he was going straight. And lo and behold, next thing I know, I was all the way up in the air. And the ambulance came. They took me right into New York Presbyterian. And my personal doctor said, "Tom, you were in a horrific, horrific accident." You know, you don't know what to do. You don't know what to expect. The next day, the plastic surgeon came walking in. She said, "I have an idea." And she got together with the orthopedist, and they made a plan. I remember coming out of anesthesia. I had the courage to look down, and I saw my little toes. It worked. It worked. It worked.
Price Rate is your one-stop shop with something for everyone. Household goods for kitchen, bedroom, and bathroom. Aisles of bulk groceries at value prices. A complete selection of fresh meat and produce. And an extensive range of frozen items to cover every meal. Wines from around the world and beer and liquor at discount prices. Visit Price Right at our 2 locations in Pembroke and Warren. There's always something new and always something for everyone.
Welcome back. Word this evening that Ray Charlton, the former chairman of the West End Development Corporation and one-time candidate for the One Bermuda Alliance, was taken into police custody. Details of the arrest are limited at this time. However, it is understood the allegations against Mr. Charlton are of a serious nature. Bermuda Broadcasting News understands a police investigation is now underway. In other news, Bermuda isn't the only British overseas territory to react negatively to a radical recommendation by the British Parliament that overseas Brits be allowed voting rights here. The UK Foreign Affairs Committee made the recommendation, and now it falls to the UK government to consider it and issue a response. In the Cayman Islands, Bermuda's sister territory, leading financial figure Anthony Travers has condemned the British Parliament's view on the territories. Here's what he told local TV channel Cayman 27.
The underlying question remains, though, and that is whether this is a bridge too far. When you look at the United Kingdom, you find the members of Parliament there are elected by constituents who have marginal to no understanding of the affairs of the Cayman Islands. And the elected politicians in the United Kingdom who sit on these subcommittees clearly demonstrate marginal to no understanding of the affairs of the Cayman Islands. And the question really is whether these are the sort of people in whom you wish to entrust your destiny.
However, it is of note that Mr. Travers stopped short of calling for independence for the Cayman Islands. In other news, police say they have arrested a 20-year-old Warwick man in connection with that stabbing of a 59-year-old Warwick man last night. It happened at a Random Lane home in Warwick at around 6:30 in the evening. The suspect remained in police custody at last check, pending further inquiries. Apparently, both men were hurt after being involved in a violent altercation with each other. They were taken to hospital in separate ambulances, and at last check, the 20-year-old man had been treated and discharged, while the 59-year-old was listed as stable on a general ward with a severe eye injury described as non-life-threatening. Any witnesses who have not already come forward should call the CID on 247-1744 or, of course, the confidential Crime Stoppers hotline at 800-8477. Turning to weather news, another gorgeous day today. However, we have some wet and windy conditions on the way. Let's go to AccuWeather headquarters for the details.
AccuWeather is presented by BF&M Insurance Group. We now go to AccuWeather headquarters.
The BF&M Insurance Group is pleased to bring you tonight's AccuWeather forecast. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Brittany Boyer, and we are getting ready for more rain. And what a year it's been so far, over 11 inches of rain, and we are going to have some more steady precipitation as we head into tomorrow. What we have going on right now, we have a boundary just off to our south here, and we are going to have a storm system developing off the east coast, working its way just to our west-northwest, but it's going to help bring that frontal boundary back into our area, so we will be looking at some additional showers and some steadier rain once we head into, say, tomorrow afternoon and also into tomorrow evening. And we could even see some of those showers as early as this evening here. So a heads up if you have any plans on doing anything outdoors, whether you have to go get the groceries tonight, just know that you could be dodging some showers a little bit later on. Hey, temperatures today, if you haven't noticed, have been running a bit cooler than normal. We're in the low 60s right now. However, as we head into the next couple of days, although we have rain in the forecast, the temperatures are going to be bumping on up close to about 70 degrees, so just a degree or two above average for this time of the year. Winds today have been fairly light right now, between 3 and 6 knots, and as we look at some of the current conditions there, waves inside the reef 1 to 3 feet, and outside of the reef still a bit choppy, running between 5 and 9 feet. So we still have a small craft warning continuing at least through tomorrow night. Post it right up here for you there. And you can see our tidal times. We have our low tide coming in at 9:06 tonight, and then our high tide Thursday morning coming in at 3:43. So let's get a little bit deeper into this forecast. Tonight, a low of 60 degrees, so cooling off a little bit more here. Some clouds with a stray shower late, which is why I give you the heads up if you're going to do any late night shopping, any late night grocery shopping, or maybe you're just working the late night shift tonight. All right, here we go into tomorrow. Cloudy skies, a brief morning shower, and then once we get into the afternoon and evening hours, I think it's going to be a bit more steadier in nature there, so you might want the umbrella tomorrow. Temperature-wise, though, we're at least warming up to about 70 degrees. We'll take that after this unseasonably cool day. Here's a look at our futurecast as we get you into your Thursday. You can see that storm system tracking primarily to our west-northwest, but we're still going to have those showers and the steadier rain into tomorrow afternoon and also into tomorrow evening. And then we're going to have yet another storm kind of moving in a similar direction here as we get into Friday and Saturday. Looks like the showers will be a little bit less and more spotty in nature. Speaking of spotty showers, we have that right now, Jamaica, Barbados, and also into Trinidad. Temperatures in the low to mid 80s, at least at this point here. And traveling tomorrow along the East Coast, Boston, few snow showers with a high of 32 degrees. Thankfully, not that cold here, but it is going to be unsettled. Rain on Thursday, a few stray showers Friday, and then we'll have to watch out for additional rainfall, at least for the start of the weekend.
AccuWeather was presented by BF&M Insurance Group.
This summer I was in Germany on holiday with my family, and on a whim one day my son and I joined a speed sliding competition. And as I came down the water slide, I went straight down in the pool and whacked my left foot on the bottom of the pool. And I looked down and I didn't see a foot. I just saw the bones sticking out and I started to feel faint. I was ambulanced to a hospital where I stayed for 11 days and had surgery. I had snapped all the ligaments on both sides of my ankle. And in the middle of all this stress and pain, we thought, how are we going to deal with health insurance? How will we pay for this? And I got a response from Allison at BF&M, and she said, your admission and surgery will be covered at 100%. I didn't have to put it on a credit card and deal with a reimbursement later. It made such a big difference to us. And for me, the BF&M difference is stress-free insurance when I really needed it.
And you're watching the Wednesday edition of Bermuda Tonight. Teachers having to dig in their own pockets for school supplies may be a thing of the past soon, or at least on a limited scale. Mike Sharp has details.
A community action initiative, Support Public Schools, SPS, was formed in June of 2018 to help improve the quality of education of our public school children. SPS founder Juliana Snelling said they delivered supplies to the East yesterday, and today it's the West.
And how that works is we ask the teachers in the Bermuda primary public schools to tell us what they need for their classroom to enhance their kids' learning experience. And the teachers posted their wishes on our website, sps.bm, and we go out and ask supporters, like the Bank of Butterfield, our biggest supporter this year, to go and purchase much-needed school supplies for our children. We are so grateful that the Bank of Butterfield, they got their team members together and purchased $20,000 worth of school supplies for these children and other P2 and P3 children in all 18 primary schools. So yesterday and today, we are on a joyride with Phoenix Stores Limited and A.F. Smith, delivering to all 18 schools over $110,000 worth of school supplies.
And what sort of supplies are in demand?
And it can range from anything from comfy beanbag seating for children that we want to keep still listening to their stories, to academic books, to teachers want colored markers and glue sticks. They want printers. They want paper. At our last school at Gilbert, the principal described paper as white gold. We even had 100 computers, only 4 years old, donated by Fidelity and by Lombard Odier that we were grateful for, that have gone into the education system. Noise canceling headphones are very popular. We have keyboards all coming, musical instruments, sports equipment. We have more footballs than you can shake a stick at. So anything that will enhance our children's learning experience in the classroom, in the art class, and on the school field.
Michael Neff, a managing director at the Bank of Butterfield, explains how staff were eager to assist in this community project.
If I can just say, the bank is extremely proud to be a part of this initiative. It's great for the schools, and it's great for our employees. So each department gets to adopt a school, gets to pick the supplies that's been put up on the site. So it works on multiple dimensions, and will be a part of this for many years to come.
The principal of Paget Primary, Idonia Beckles, said this type of community action will assist public primary schools greatly.
And on behalf of Paget Primary, we have our P2, some of our P2 and P3 students right here. What school are we, everybody?
Paget Primary.
We are proud. We have the lion, and so we are very proud of the fact that there are people out there who will support the public schools.
And I'm Mike Sharp with Bermuda Broadcasting News.
Great story. Thanks, Mike. Earl Basin will have all the latest sports news after this short break. Stay tuned.
The Bermuda Olympic Association's Women in Sport Committee invites you to be the champion of your life. A banquet and expo on March 8th and 9th at the Fairmont Hamilton Princess. In celebration of International Women's Day, our illustrious banquet keynote speakers are U.S. Olympians Hazel Clark and Gerald Miles Clark, while a panel of some of Bermuda's top female athletes, past and present, will be featured at the expo. Join us in encouraging girls and women to be the champions of their lives. For more information, visit olympics.bm.
Bermuda, home to 64,000 people, or 63,799 to be exact. Famous for some of the best beaches in the world. And cajaos, and shorts, and fish sandwiches with tartar sauce, and rum swizzle, and parties. Since we're 640 miles into the Atlantic Ocean, it's an expensive place to live. Yeah, pay $25 for a peanut butter sandwich. So how do we earn money? We don't mine for gold, or make mobile phones, or manufacture clothes. Since we don't make products, we provide services. In fact, more than 98% of our economy is made up of services. Of those, a majority are global financial services, accounting, trusts, insurance, and many other services that keep the world's economy moving. This is called international business. Those who do this work spend their money on all kinds of things, like restaurants, real estate, gardening, hairdressing, boats, dog grooming, soy caramel macchiato lattes, and everything else. Which means for every job in international business, an extra 1.3 jobs are created in Bermuda. This is called the multiplier effect, and it creates opportunities for all of us. Yet another reason that international business is everybody's business.
I'm Tony Waterman. Coming up on The Breakdown this week. International business. It's the main pillar of Bermuda's economy, generating thousands of jobs and injecting millions into the economy. But as an entire generation gets set to retire, what's being done to entice the next wave of leaders to take up the mantle? Plus, ecotourism. It's all the rage with travelers, but very few view Bermuda as a nature destination. We'll take a look at how the railway trail could not only attract eco-conscious tourists, but could also be the genesis for a whole new suite of tourism offerings. That's Thursday at 8 p.m. on ZBM TV 9.
Turning to sports now, Bermuda Olympian is focused on Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games. Bermuda cyclist competes on Cycle Tour in the Dominican Republic, and Naki Wells and his teammates finally get a win. Earl Baisden is up next with these sports stories and more in tonight's sports report.
Flora Duffy is hoping for a repeat performance that she had last year during the ITU event right here on our shores in Bermuda come April 27th. However, her major focus is on Tokyo 2020.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you don't want to, you can't make this year too stressful because obviously anytime in the Olympic year, everything is exponentially more stressful. So for me, in a way, building back from injury is taking off all the pressure because for me, it's just building back healthy and strong and getting back to my best over the course of this year. And of course, I'm going to target one or two races that I would like to be better at. But to me, it's just about, finding my feet again, enjoying the racing, wanting to be there. And if you're in a good place, that tends to translate into good racing. And, just be positive and excited about this amazing build that's coming up, an amazing experience that, preparing for the Olympics is.
Caden Hopkins began competing in the Independencia Nacional cycling event in the Dominican Republic. Hopkins, competing in stage 1 of the 7-stage race, finished 82nd overall out of 133 competitors. Hopkins would clock a time of 3 hours, 14 minutes, 53 seconds, some 7 minutes and 57 seconds behind the winner, Robinson Gomez from Colombia, who clocked a stage winning time of 3 hours, 6 minutes and 56 seconds. Now, Key Wells and his Queen's Park Rangers teammates secured their first 3 points of 2019 with an excellent 1-0 victory over Leeds United at Loftus Road last evening. Luke Freeman's clever finish 3 minutes after the break was enough for Queen's Park Rangers to claim a hard-fought win over the Whites. The result moves Queen's Park Rangers above Stoke in the table and provides Wells and his teammates their first victory in 11 league matches. Jonte Smith suited up for Oxford United's under-23 team that let a halftime lead slip as they lost 3-1 in a friendly against AFC Wimbledon. Jade Hanna would conclude competing in the first annual Austria Spring Swimming Invitational Classic. On day 2, Hanna would clock the fastest times in the girls' 16 and over 100-meter freestyle preliminaries, the girls' 16 and over 100-meter backstroke preliminaries, and the girls' 16 and over 50-meter butterfly preliminaries, but she would scratch from all 3 finals. During the girls' 16 and over 100-meter freestyle preliminaries, Hanna would clock the fastest time of 56.75. Hanna would then clock 1:00.76, which was the fastest time during the 16 and over girls 100-meter backstroke preliminaries. Hanna would then clock the fastest girls 16 and over 50-meter butterfly preliminary time of 27:40. Daniel Augustus finished tied 14th, playing in the par 3 tooth shootout in Florida. Augustus and the rest of the field only played 9 holes, with Augustus shooting 2 over par. Augustus in his round had 1 birdie, 6 pars, 1 bogey, and 1 double bogey. Alexis Trott and her University of Albany women's track and field teammates won their 7th straight indoor title as they were crowned the 2019 American East Indoor Track and Field Champions at the Boston University Track Center. Trott finished 7th in the women's long jump with a top leap of 5.63 meters or 18 feet, 5.75 inches. Trott would then finish 9th in the women's triple jump, leaping 11.07 meters or 36 feet, 4 inches. James Finnegan and his Florida Tech men's tennis teammates headed to Boca Raton, Florida to take on national powerhouse and third-ranked Lind University. They would fight hard, but they would fall 7-0. Finnegan and J.J. Clark went down in the number 1 double spot, 6-love, to Kay Bartman and Florin Clemars. Singles play saw some great battles, such as Finnegan in the top of the bill clash against Clemars, but he would lose both sets 6-3, 6-3. Amali Smith and her Wilberforce University basketball teammates made it to the NAIA National Tournament for the first time in the school's history following their 69-55 win over Haskell. In commercial league bowling action at the Warwick Lanes, it saw league leaders Secret Weapons defeat second place BPS Blue Lanterns 3-1, while the Superstars defeated Sweet Life 4-0. The Braves got by the Pin Pushers 3-1, while the BLDC 10-Pin Mafia picked up a 3-1 win over the Sunset. The matches between the Spinners and We Do It Big, as well as BTC and Cool Runnings, both ended 2-2. I'm Earl Baisden with Bermuda Broadcasting Sports.
You can count on us.
Your choice, peaches, plums, or nectarines, only $2.99 per pound. Fresh USDA bone-in strip steak, $14.99 per pound. Schmidt Italian sliced bread, 20-ounce loaf, hot price $4.39. Scott paper towels, choose a size roll, $2.59. Save $1.60 on Purex liquid laundry detergent, 50-ounce bottle, hot price $4.99. All stores open Monday through Saturday until 10 p.m. and Sunday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. for your shopping convenience.
You can count on us.
Cal's wondering, do cell phone and internet providers really look out for his best interests? And what about electricity? Like most people, Cal's had his share of bad experiences with service providers. Yet, he also has friends in the industry who go above and beyond for customers. As a consumer, your experience shouldn't be hit and miss, which is why the regulatory authority is introducing consumer protection standards. Cal likes that. The standards will mean improved frontline staff training, fair and honest marketing and advertising, better handling of complaints, easy to understand billing, and protection for vulnerable consumers. The new guidelines will also set service standards for managing outages, customer data privacy, and more. The regulatory authority wants to know what's important to you. It's easy to have your say. Go to rab.bm to be part of the Consumer Protection Public Consultation.
We provide education, early detection, radiation treatment, and support for cancer to all.
We provide in-home care, financial assistance, and emotional support to cancer patients and their families.
We provide financial support and enhanced quality of life for patients and their families in hospice care.
We will. We will.
We will.
And that's our newscast on this Wednesday evening. I'm Diane Brewer. Thanks for joining us. Hope to see you back here tomorrow night, same time, same place. Good night.